Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. So today's video is a reading vlog of the books that I read for the week of April 9th to the 15th, and I finished 3 books this week. And the first one that I finished was The Horse and His Boy, and this is book number 3 in the Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis, and this is a fantasy. And so the premise of this book, it's centers around 2 children, and so they run away from whatever situation that they were in, and they end up in Narnia, and they're involved in this battle, and it's just like a fight for good and evil. And there's other characters like horses that can talk and that sort of thing. And this one, it was okay. I liked the first 2 books more than this one. So I gave it 3 wontons out of 5, and I listened to it on audio, and I like the narration. It's a little bit different. I think the first 2 was narrated by Michael York, and this one was a different narrator, but it still was a good book. And we're going to be reading the next book. I think it's Prince Caspian next month, and that's on Mr. Francie's Discord, so it's a read along. So I'll be doing that next month. And the second book that I read was Revenge of the Wrought Iron Flamingos, and this is book number 3 in the Meg Langslow series by Donna Andrews. And this is a cozy mystery. So the premise of this book, it's the townspeople, or it's Meg Langslow is the main character, and she's a blacksmith, and she goes back to her hometown. Well, she's already back in her hometown. And the townspeople there they are participating in a reenactment of the Battle of Yorktown in the Revolutionary War. And so there's also a fair that's going on, and Meg has a booth set up to sell some of her iron works, like her creations. But she's a blacksmith, which is different from what you would normally see in cozy mysteries, because usually the protagonist is a librarian, they might be or a baker, that kind of occupation. So seeing a character that's in a job that's like a blacksmith is different. So in this book, there is so while the townspeople are participating in this reenactment, she also has family that are participating as well. Her dad, who's a doctor, he's there, and he likes to. He's very into medicine and history and how medicine was practiced in certain time periods. So he's very interested in telling people that drop by how medicine was practiced in the 1700s. So Meg is having to, not corral, but having to watch over or just stop her dad from being too graphic in his descriptions of what medicine was like in the 1780s. And so she's also having to deal with or handle things with her brother. He created a computer game, and so he's worrying that somebody is trying to steal the rights to this game. So she's having to check in on that as well, just to make sure that everything's fine. And so while this is all happening, somebody is like, this person is swindling. He's I don't know if there's blackmailing what he's doing, but he's found dead in her booth, killed, and he was killed with one of her wrought iron flamingos. So Meg is having to, she investigates to figure out what is happening. And so I gave this book 4 wontons out of 5. I enjoyed it. The only thing that I would say that I didn't like was more like it was nothing to do with the story at all. It was the narrator that I'm not connecting with the narrator. I find the way that she voices the characters are a little bit off to me. She makes them sound a lot older than they actually are. So the voices that she uses for Meg's parents, as an example, they sound to me like they're 90 years old, like the old matronly grandma kind of voice. And so that doesn't sound right to me, because Meg would be like maybe late 20s, early 30s, and so her parents would maybe in their 50s or 60s. So making Meg's mom or dad sound like a matronly grandma, or not matronly for grandpa, but just like a lot older than they really are. It was off-putting to me. So I think going for I'm gonna keep on going with the series, but what I'm going to do is just go back to reading the ebooks. Because I do like the characters. I find them very kooky and funny, and that's something that I like when I'm reading. I like a little bit of humor. And so the other book, the third book that I finished was one that I just finished last night. And it's Wonton Terror by Vivian Chen. And this is book number 3 in the Noodle Shop series. And this is another cozy mystery. So the premise of this book, Lana Lee, she is a manager for her parents' noodle shop. And this particular night, the weekend, there's this night market that's been set up. So a bunch of people, like restaurateurs and business owners, they set up booths or like food trucks and things like that to on the weekend to sell food. They sell other things like jewelry, clothing, and things like that. And then this particular night, there's a food truck that's run by a husband and wife, and I think there's an explosion or there's a fire, and the husband dies. And so then there's a couple of other people like Peter. He's one of the cooks, the chefs in the noodle house that Lana's parents run and own. And his mother, I think she's very badly burned. And so I think that in this there's some suspicion that maybe the wife had done it. The wife of the victim had done it. So Lana decides she goes in and investigates a little bit. On top of she's got some family drama going on. So her aunt is coming to visit, and the relationship between the aunt and Betty, Lana's mom, is a little bit contentious. They bicker every time they see each other. So Lana and her sister Anna May are anticipating their aunt's visit with trepidation, because they know what it's going to be like when they go to the family dinners, and these two sisters will meet up. So this I like this book. I like the story. I like the mystery. I like the interactions between the characters, and so I gave this book 4 wontons out of 5. And I've said it before with this particular series. It's becoming one of my favorite series, because I like that there's the main character is part Taiwanese, and the way that she interacts with her mom, and the way that the interactions between the other people in Asia Village reminds me so much of my own life as a Taiwanese Canadian, and having a Taiwanese family, and we have family friends that are Taiwanese, so it's very familiar to me. So I really like that. And it's interesting because the aunt Lana's aunt, her name is Grace, and my aunt is also named Grace, and she's also my mom's older sister. And so in this particular book, I'm surprised that they don't say like the Taiwanese, or it's Hokkien is what the dialect is, and they don't mention that Aunt Grace is IE, because that's what we call our mother's older sister in Taiwanese. And we hear we have a grandma. Their grandmother is there. They call her ama, and that's grandmother in the Taiwanese language. So I enjoyed this as I said before. I enjoyed this book, and the series is great, and I definitely want to keep going with this series and see what happens with Lana and Anna May and her boyfriend Adam and the other characters. It's turning into a really great series. I'm really, really enjoying it. So those are all the books that I finished this week. What books did you finish, and how did you find them? If you'd like to post in the comments, I'd be interested to read what your thoughts were on those books that you finished. So this is the end of this reading vlog. We have reading sprints on Mr. Francie's channel on his Discord, so he does them on Fridays and Saturday nights. So I'm going to post a link to his Discord in the video description here, so that you can, if you're interested and you want to join in the reading sprints, you're more than welcome to join. We'd be happy to have you. And there's also sprints during the week as well. I mean, there's some other. I mean, we have a whole bunch of people that are on there, so anybody's free to start the sprints on the weekends. We also have some other. There's a question. We post questions of the day and things like that, just to get the conversation, to have really interesting conversations. So it's all the Discord is a lot of fun, and it's a great group of people that we have. So if you'd like to join, please do so. And the link will be in this video description. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe. And I will see you in my next video. All right then. Bye bye.